Have you ever wondered what Donald Trump portfolio looked like in crypto? Well, in this video, we're going to be diving and having a look at just that. Now, a lot of people might think that this is actually his portfolio because he holds $1 million or over $1 million in this account right here. But his real account that a lot of people actually don't know, and this is made to the public, of course, is actually World Liberty Finance right here with over $97 million worth of money in this account. So we're going to be having a look at what he holds, what it is, how high and how profitable has he been. But before that, let's have a look at what Donald Trump's net worth is currently is. So fourth place, Donald Trump, net worth at $5.1 billion right here. You guys can see $5.1 billion. So of course, if you look at this private portfolio, you might think that's actually nothing. That's like not even like 0.5% of what his net worth is. And you guys can see right here that obviously these tokens are tokens that pretty much, I believe, have been sent to him. Now, I don't know who would send $142,000 worth of USDC to his account, but you guys can see right here, he's holding Trump, the old one, at 19 cents. He's holding Trog. I'm assuming these are not really what he's holding, and these tokens have been transferred to him. Now, if this does end up being a real portfolio, that's going to be very, very interesting. He probably doesn't care because you guys can see this Twitter is automatically connected to Donald Trump, which has $104 million, but I don't believe that this is actually his real portfolio. Now, if we have a look right here at World Liberty Fi, you guys can see that this is $97 million worth of money. Okay, now obviously a lot of these tokens are, they've been sent to him. Why? Because everyone wants to say that Donald Trump holds, or World Liberty Finance holds, these tokens, which will make their shitcoin or meme coin pump to the moon. So this is why we have to be very careful out there. And the reason why is because everything's on the blockchain. People will see, let's say right here, if we go right here, you're going to see $5,000. Okay. You guys really think that the president of the United States holds a token called Rect for $5,000? Now, what would happen? Big influencers will go ahead and say, oh, look, Donald Trump just bought Rect, $5,000 worth of it. A lot of people are going to FOMO into that coin, and they're just going to get out of 2x and pretty much wreck everyone who pretty much got in. So this is why we have to be very careful. But what's very, very interesting about this is that this portfolio does not hold the Trump token. Now, World Liberty Finance is not 100% Trump's. It's 75% of it is actually his. Okay, so he holds like literally more than half. He holds 75% of it, so he clearly has control of it. Obviously some of his family's part of it, etc. So but let's just say that this is his wallet, right? I mean, obviously Donald Trump has a private wallet as well, probably that no one knows, but I'm assuming that most of the money is right here, $97 million. He holds a lot of USDC. You guys can see right here, Donald Trump has been accumulating slowly USDC right here. He holds WBTC, which is Bitcoin. Now, the interesting part about this is that WBTC is actually the Bitcoin, wrapped Bitcoin on the Ethereum ecosystem. So it looks like, holding by chain, you guys can see that he's holding most of his money on the Ethereum network, which is actually quite interesting. And, with Ethereum being at like $1,700, $1,800 right here, you guys can see Ethereum, 1825. Obviously something is a little bit off, or either he's been wrong, or he's expecting something massive to essentially happen. But you guys can see that most of his money is on the Ethereum ecosystem. Okay, so if we have a look back at the portfolio, he's holding USDT $22 million on Ethereum. WBTC is holding it on Ethereum, $15 million. And what's even more interesting about this is that you guys can see he's holding the same amount of Ethereum that he is on Bitcoin. 15 million of Ethereum, 15 million of BTC. You guys can see right here, 7,000 Ethereum worth and 162,000 wrapped Bitcoin, which is obviously not 162,000, 162 wrapped Bitcoin, $96,000 and ETH at 1828. Now, another thing, he's holding USDT right here. Now, obviously USDT, this is the USDT, I believe, on Ethereum as well. So if we have a look right here, you guys can see this is not the USDT on Tron. This is actually the USDT on Ethereum. It's not the one on Binance Smart Chain as well. And obviously he's holding TRX right here on the Tron ecosystem, which is actually very, very interesting. So after Tron, he's holding Ethereum, more Ethereum, $5,000 or 5,000 Ethereum worth, over $9 million. So you guys can see he's holding a lot of Ethereum. I mean, Ethereum is by far his biggest position. He's holding it on Lido Stake right here. You guys can see STETH right here. And of course, he's holding $5 million on of more USDC right here. And after that, he's holding White Token, 4.4 million. He's holding Mantle, 4.26 million. And then you have Ondo, Cole, Grok. Now, I don't know how legit these tokens are. I mean, did he really buy $300,000 worth of Ondo or X amount of worth of Ondo? I don't know. Did he really buy 64,000 or let's say 30,000, depending on, how much it is. You guys can see this thing is up 73%. So assuming he bought like 50 or 45,000, I don't think so. Did he buy Grok? I mean, these are all meme coins, right? So a lot of people, this is where we go back to the beginning of this video where I said a lot of people are essentially going to go on these cryptos and they're going to pick any crypto and they're going to be like, guys, look, World Liberty Finance is holding these tokens. I mean, this is about to go to the moon. And obviously it doesn't work like that. You could get rugged, you could get destroyed like that very, very easily. But what's really, really interesting about this is that we know what President Trump did, right? He launched a meme coin basically 2 weeks before he became president. Okay, so this is the weekly time frame. You guys can see 2 weeks before he became president, he launched a meme coin at, I believe it was like, I don't know, $6, $7. That's when most people were able to buy. It peaked all the way at $79, and pretty much ever since then, this thing is down 86%. And you guys can see right here, World Liberty Finance is not essentially holding any of that. So if we have a look at profit and history, now this is where things get a little bit suspicious right here. You guys can see that the profit history is a little bit suspicious. Pretty much in February, ever since a month after he became president, or not even a month, 10 days after he became president, apparently his portfolio went down $40 million, $44 million. Is this legit? I don't know how legit this is, but you guys can see right here, they're pretty much in red. I don't know if they are doing this so people don't track this portfolio. I don't know if there's other things cooking in the back that we don't know. But this is, of course, very, very interesting on why it's doing that. You guys can see that, his history and profit and loss were pretty much stable. Everything was going up. You guys can see December, everything's looking pretty good, right? January, everything's looking shaky. It's going up and down, going up and down. And then you have a lot of sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy. And then boom, down $40 million. So obviously this is actually very, very interesting on here. And the most interesting part about this is that most of its value, believe it or not, is actually in stable coins. So you guys can see he's holding $22 million worth of stable coins, another 10 million. So we're roughly right here looking at a $32 million worth of stable coin. And he also has a ETH USDC, which is another 5 million. Okay, so roughly you're looking at $37 million worth of stable coin. Okay, so it looks like Trump is getting ready to essentially go in big on, whether it's altcoins, meme coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, it doesn't matter what it is, but it looks like he's getting ready to essentially accumulate. Now, obviously, once you see those USDT, start to move, that's when you should be like, okay, maybe we could see an altcoin season coming. But as of right now, guys, I don't see an altcoin season coming anytime soon until, Ethereum reaches 71%. I think altcoins will continue to bleed until we reach this level right here. Now, I'm not going to be making a video right now about, the Bitcoin dominance and altcoins, but you guys can see the Bitcoin dominance is currently sitting at 65%. So this is actually very, very high. 65.31% is extremely high. Altcoins are going to continue to bleed. We know what's going worldwide. The world's going to shit right now. The US dollar index is getting really, really weak. And the fact that the US dollar index is getting really weak and altcoins and Bitcoin dumping is very concerning, because the second the US dollar index makes a reversal, you could expect crypto to essentially bleed. So we're going to have to see what happens here on the US dollar index. Is this the bottom for the US, for the Dixie right here? What is going to happen? Because Trump, we know what he wants. He wants a strong dollar. He doesn't care about Bitcoin. He doesn't care about the stock market. He wants a strong US economy. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see, what happens. Also today, guys, FOMC is happening. So interest rate are happening today. So it's also, that is going to be interesting. Inflation data is coming out later this week. So obviously, there's a lot of things to look forward to. By the way, guys, only 14% of you guys are subscribed to this channel. So if you guys do like these videos, of course, make sure you guys subscribe. It would really mean a lot to me. I can continue to make these updates for you guys, continue to make these videos for you guys, and I will see you guys in my next video.